Hey, what's going on, friends and family? My name is Skylent, and today I'm going to walk you through my pick for my top 5 upcoming PvEvP games list for 2018. These are games that have come out, just newly released, or will release, maybe they're in early access. They should be playable this year, 2018. If you don't know what PvEvP means, I did a whole other list video of games that are already out that you could play immediately, that have been out for a while. You might want to go check that out, but it's games that are player versus environment versus player, and it basically means that they're PvP games that have direct interactions with environmental mobs, AI, stuff like that. And these are games that really focus on that, or they will focus, well, they're coming out here soon. And I think that this is a really cool and niche type of gameplay mechanic that I want to see in more games, really exemplified in stuff like MOBAs. You see it sometimes in MMOs, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Get hype and keep it alive, guys. This is a genre I really enjoy, so make sure you click the link in the description and follow twitch.tv/Skylent. I'll be streaming these games, I'll be having a blast, and I've already played a lot of them, quite a little bit. So hopefully you consider my considerations for PvEvP games, and I hope you find something that surprised you. If you did, make sure to give a thumbs up, and if I missed something, let me know in the comments below. Without wasting too much time, let's jump into the list. Top 5 upcoming PvEvP games. Alright guys, so immediately I'm going to start the list off with an honorable mention. It can't actually go on the list because I'm technically biased. I'm an emissary for this game, and you should know by now, it's Bless Online. And ever since I heard about this game, I really started promoting it and really hyping it up because specifically, it seems like an open world PvP game that kind of intermingles, slaying elite monsters and grinding mobs out in the open world. It seems like a proper PvEvP game, but instead of being a sandbox title like BDO or Albion Online, it's more theme park. I think it's trying to do some new things while having that sort of vanilla foundation to work on. I'm excited for it, but again, I'm an emissary for the game, so I can't put it in this review because that's biased. And I just want to be completely real and honest with you, but objectively, it's a new upcoming PvEvP game that a lot of people are excited about, so something to keep on the radar, and of course, it's got to make it as an honorable mention. But properly starting out our list here, we have the World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. Now, I actually think it should go a little bit higher because it's going to be a good game. We know it's going to be a proper AAA release, and the past expansion was pretty freaking good. But what we have to debate here is this really an upcoming game? Yes, the World of Warcraft with this expansion is going to be changing. This is going to change the face of what it means to play Warcraft and kind of bringing back the actual Warcraft in World of Warcraft. Back in the vanilla days, we had a certain game flow and a game loop, and I think Battle for Azeroth is adding in new mechanics that's going to re-incentivize that sort of mentality, which has a lot of people begging to come back. I definitely have my expansion already geared up. I'm already leveling some characters. Hopefully you watch those reviews and check out those streams. But Battle for Azeroth is going to have a lot of interesting mechanics where they actually have PvE modes that resemble PvP battles, and then they're going to add in new PvP incentivization, open world kind of stuff, siege gameplay, and there's a lot of stuff that hasn't been announced, but basically the core concept is, yeah, this is Warcraft once again. Welcome back to the world. Next up on our list here, at number 4, we have Rend. Now, this game should be in some sort of playable state this year. I do hope that it comes out because Rend is looking super hype. I'm very excited about it, and I'd love to be a part of it as much as I can. Rend is a title that looks very reminiscent to something like Ark Survival Evolved, but the concept of Rend is more closely related to MMORPGs. It is going to be PvEvP proper. Multiple factions are going to be duking it out in this sort of Nordic-inspired mythos world. It's very magical and weird with shadowy monsters that come out. But yeah, there's going to be monsters that actually siege your bases, while also other players can do the same. So you're going to be fighting over resources and literally taking resources from other people's base, and you're contesting over weeks, maybe even months, with these campaigns. And now, it's not a proper MMO yet here, but it is trying to start off with 60 players in its testing phase, which we should see near the end of this year, and then it could actually grow there. Players can actually start their own servers, but basically it's this continuous online campaign. It does have an end eventually. There is a win condition. One faction will win, players will be rewarded, and then you start anew. So it almost feels like a really elongated, kind of more epic battleground, something that maybe you can be reminiscent of in World of Warcraft. but it has those mechanics and the game feel overall like Ark Survival Evolved. It's more of a shooter than anything, but it still has those fantasy elements. So anyways, it's something to be really excited about. It's trying to do something new, especially with the whole campaign focus and being a PvEvP game proper with like monster sieges and stuff like that. I think it's going to be something that feels almost Battle Royale-ish in a way, with the chaos and, you know, the multiple fronts of combat. It's something that's blending a lot of different trends and a lot of different genres, and I think it's going to hit a nice niche. Alright guys, halfway on the list, we have Sea of Thieves. Now I know this is technically released, but the way I do videos now is I don't really trust whenever developers say early access, beta, whatever. That's really their own self-titling. And let's be honest, Sea of Thieves is not a full AAA released title. It's basically early access. You paid full price for early access. Sea of Thieves did release this year. It's still technically new, but I'm still excited about the new content plans for Sea of Thieves. There's some other piratey games that also seem like they might have some PvEvP that I could mention, but honestly, I think Sea of Thieves still actually has a ton of potential. It's a game that I really wish I got my hands on and played significantly more. Like, I wish I had the streams, I wish I had the videos, because I love PvEvP that much, even with its lack of content. So I was watching a number of people play this game. I've seen the highlights, I've seen the streamers, and there is just so much love put into this game whenever you play with friends, right? And you can see the polish of the gameplay, the very core foundation is so there, but it's missing like a whole lot of trimmings. I mean, where's my grappling hooks, right? My net guns and stuff like that. Where's all that? Where's all the different monsters? Hopefully they add stuff like Leviathans, Behemoths, maybe even a Ziz. I don't know, like maybe they can add in all these different mythological giant monsters. Hopefully then add in more dungeony kind of things, more VE, because I think the PvP is okay, but we definitely need more, just more stuff in Sea of Thieves, more fantastic stuff, maybe even breaching onto steampunky kind of gadgets. I think that's really the direction that would make this game uproarious, super fun, and definitely compete with some other games that are kind of in the genre of piracy. I know there's a game called Worlds Adrift that's also going to have a lot of really cool stuff, grappling hook type, but Sea of Thieves for a PvEvP game has just the most strong foundation, absolutely, the polish and the character that the game has. But yeah, I'm gonna need those trimmings, absolutely. I'm gonna need that content to really play it. And so by the end of this year, if they add in a new expansion, if they keep adding on to it, this could be an amazing game that has a fantastic resurgence. While a more whimpering launch, absolutely, I think it can go so much further beyond what has been so far a very nearsighted horizon. Now, my number 2 on this list is something that really gets me really energetic, very excited, excitable. I normally am, but enthusiasm is still uncontained for Hunt Showdown, except minus the fact that I'm waiting for optimization passes, I'm waiting for netcode analyses again. Hunt Showdown is definitely early access, and it shows, and that's why I refunded it. But like, in terms of its on-paper concept, and when I did play it and test it, aside from the actual playability, which was lacking, it was still such a cool game. On paper, again, it's a Battle Royale game, which maybe doesn't seem so original, but the uniquity when you actually play it, the core gameplay loop is stupid cool. For somebody who's a fan of PvEvP, this is a game where you literally, the objective is hunting the PvE, and the in-between is the PvP. So normally it's the PvP that's the main focus, the main meat, but in this game, the game flow is kind of inversed. So you're supposed to be hunting these big monsters, and there's lots of little monsters all over the map that you're trying to almost play like a stealth game around and kind of assassinate them as you move through. And of course, trying to not be detected by players or listening to the cries in the distance of other monsters dying or, you know, screeching, hunting down other players, and using that to literally track down other players while you're also tracking down the big bad boss to get, like, you know, its little token and then try to escape the map. So you have this really crazy mix of different, like, cat and mouse type of gameplay that has this weird ebb and flow where one moment you're the cat, one moment you're the mouse, and that's something that you normally get in PvEvP MMOs like Albion Online, where you're a gatherer, you're running away, or you're a ganker. But in Hunt Showdown, it's like you're both at the same time, and then, you know, it's kind of give and take, and it's really fantastic. And that would normally feel great, except, you know, we need the optimization passes. It's obviously early access, and Hunt Showdown needs to show us that it's down for the hunt. Make this game run good so I can actually kill things real good, and then I'll swear, I'll spam this game, I'll play this game so hard, and I think a lot of people would really love it, especially with this surge of BR games. This is honestly one of the most unique out there, and more people should play it, you know, whenever it actually becomes playable. Now we have our number 1. And this one is really debatable, super contested, and something that even in my list of videos where I hype it up, I have to start maybe being a little bit more critical and realistic, and I'm gonna be real with you in this video too, because that's what I do, guys. Honesty first and foremost. So we have Crowfall. It is my number 1 because it is the single most unique game coming out, in my personal opinion. It is an MMO that, similar to Rend, will have campaigns, and I love this trend, this idea that an MMO can be won. And Crowfall was the first one to really sell that idea. It's basically very inspired by Game of Thrones, and it's a throne war simulator, self-proclaimed. An idea that you'll be going into a number of different campaign worlds, and over weeks and months you'll be fighting those out, and multiple go on at the same time. There's different layers and tiers. There's a free-for-all one, and guilds will go into some different ones here and there. There's gonna be different limitations and mutators and different monsters to fight, and all these different environments that you'll literally be taking place in and contesting around in this player versus player game. So it is a full-on PvEvP MMO that has a number of different environments to fight in. And that's another reason why I put Heroes of the Storm so highly on my other top 5 PvEvP list, because of that variety and that intricacy with the environments. Crowfall also, with its environment, should have voxel destruction and some sort of creation tools, as well as some really weird gimmicks when it comes to the creation of the character player, because it's actually like your crow spirit thing, and then you kind of have the characters as if they're vehicles, different bodies that you can dig up and use necromancy to craft. Really weird, strange stuff going on there, but you're going to be using lots of different characters in all these different campaigns and fighting other players, obviously, but then lots of different kinds of enemies. And then, of course, the interactions of the different classes, the roles, the team, synergy, with it when it comes to PvE, the different boss fights, and then also PvP. It's a lot of weird, wacky stuff going on with this game. Hopefully it comes to fruition. The gameplay footage that I've seen, similar contention with Hunt Showdown, is that it doesn't seem very playable right now. A lot of big dreams, but hopefully Crowfall doesn't fail expectations. Of course, in an upcoming list, I'm allowed to be optimistic, and so I will continue to be for Crowfall. Because gosh dang it, I'm a fan of PvEvP, and Crowfall just looks too dang cool. All right, guys, that's it for the 5 list here. That's it, just 5 games. I like to talk a little bit ramble on these games, get a little bit more reviewing so we don't do a proper 10. But if there's games that you think that would make a top 10, hey, slap it down in the comments below. I'd love to know. But I also want to mention here that, maybe go check out my other 5 list here of the PvEvP games that already have released, that are critically acclaimed and have inspired many of the games on this list and more. So go check out that video. And also for this one, if you want to promote this one, like it, comment on it, all the call to action stuff. If you want people to know about this and know about my content, well, I need you champions to help me out. So, I love this genre. I want to continue covering these games, do more lists like this, and cover more weird and, more niche lists that basically nobody else does. Please let me do that. I need you guys' help. So much love, guys. So much passion from me, and I know from you. So, let's share it with the world. Keep having fun, guys. Keep the hype alive. My name's Skylent, and I'll see you again next time.